In his workshop, the alchemist Windsor is interrupted when someone calls his name. Royal guards appear, informing Mise that he has been summoned by His Majesty the King. Before the throne, the king declares Windsor exiled for the crime of treason against the nation. Mise is utterly shocked by the accusation. He desperately pleads with the king, insisting it's all a misunderstanding. However, a man beside him coldly dismisses his pleas as pathetic. The man addresses Mise as Big Brother. Mise looks at him in disbelief, recognizing him as Alfred. Alfred accuses him of breaking a taboo by approaching Vritra, the guardian dragon. He questions if this is how a candidate for the next lordship should behave. Mise listens grimly, as Alfred implies he is trying to ruin the country. Mise understands that his brother Alfred is scheming to take his title as the next head of the family. He realizes a secret he has kept hidden may have finally been discovered. Alfred pointedly asks if Mise is trying to win over Vritra. The king reiterates that the country owes its greatness to the guardian dragon. The king demands to know what Mise is plotting by aiming for the power of the guardian dragon, Vritra. A flashback begins, recounting how 4 years ago, a giant dragon suddenly appeared near the royal capital. This dragon proved to be a protector, subduing monsters and repelling an enemy army, leading the people to revere it as the legendary guardian dragon, Vritra. The story returns to the present, where the dragon continues to be revered as the nation's protector. Looking to his father for support, Mise is met with a grim expression. His father formally disinherits him and requests that Alfred be made the next head of the family. The king agrees, annulling Mise's engagement to Princess Lucy and naming Alfred as her new fiancé. Mise is horrified by the turn of events, realizing he is being exiled. Mise knows that if he is exiled, Vritra will become enraged, and the country will be finished. He realizes that is the one thing that must be avoided. In a desperate attempt, he reveals his secret. The venerated guardian dragon Vritra is an artificial beast he created with alchemy. The court is stunned by his claim. Alfred laughs at the absurdity of his brother's claim, while their father calls Mise a disgrace. Mise desperately turns to his father, reminding him of his alchemical skills, but his father doesn't believe he could create the dragon. The king angrily shouts for enough of this nonsense. His father calls for silence, while the king dismisses Mise's claim as foolish nonsense, swearing it's the truth. Alfred smirks and suggests sending his brother to the remote region of Belgrade. Mise is shocked at the mention of Belgrade. He recalls hearing that it is a vast land covered in endless forests. His father confirms that the lord of that land died, leaving it in a dire state. The king considers this and agrees that Belgrade will be his destination. The knights are ordered to drag Mise out of the throne room, despite his protests. Alfred laughs maniacally, telling his brother that he will meet his end in that place. As he's dragged away, Mise continues to plead with the king, who threatens him with death if he keeps whining. As he is dragged away, Mise worries what will become of the country at this rate. The large doors of the throne room slam shut. A cart begins its journey, carrying Mise into exile. While riding in the cart, Mise worries about how he will explain what has happened to Tinny. Suddenly, an unknown assailant attacks the moving cart. The cart is violently shattered into pieces. Mise is thrown from the wreckage and lands hard on the ground. Mise looks up to find himself surrounded by a group of robed figures. He recognizes their symbol and realizes with a shock that he is facing the Vritra cult. One of the cultists shouts for the Plague-bringer to get out. They attack him, shouting about divine retribution. The cultists swarm him, crying out for justice. Mise desperately tries to get them to wait and calm down. The cultists call him out by name, accusing him of blasphemy for claiming to have created Lord Vritra. Mise insists that he is telling the truth. One of the cultists screams that it is blasphemy. A cultist declares that Mise's crime of disrespect deserves 1,000 deaths. He tells Mise to atone with his death as he brings his weapon down. Just in time, the guardian dragon Vritra descends from the sky, much to the delight of the cultists who believe their lord has arrived. The cultists tell Vritra to look, claiming his enemies are being punished by divine wrath. The dragon opens its massive jaws, but not to reward them. Vritra unleashes a powerful blast from its mouth. The attack instantly freezes the cultists solid. The cultists are completely encased in ice. A terrified survivor demands to know why Lord Vritra would attack its own loyal servants. Vritra speaks, warning the survivor to inform his leader that anyone who harms Brother Mise will be sent straight to hell. The cultist is stunned that Lord Vritra is speaking. He screams for his leader and flees in terror. Mise looks on in surprise as the dragon protects him. The dragon asks Mise if he is unharmed, who is surprised to hear it speak human language. Mise decides the dragon form stands out too much and asks Tinny to revert to her original form. The truth is that the revered guardian dragon Vritra, worshipped by the people, is not what she seems. The mighty dragon Vritra transforms into a young, affectionate girl with horns and wings. It is Tinny, Mise's younger sister, who immediately asks her big brother for clothes from her infinite storage. Mise thinks to himself that an automatic outfit-changing feature would be useful in emergencies. Now clothed, Tinny asks her big brother how she looks. Flustered, Mise tells her it's fine. Tinny then offers him a potion from her infinite storage, which he accepts gratefully. Mise checks to make sure Tinny didn't kill the cultists. She gets annoyed at the question, stating of course she didn't. She knew that if she killed them, Mise could be treated as a murderer. So she just used freezing magic to put them in a near-death state, from which they will eventually thaw. Tinny explains that she has been watching over him with a clairvoyance spell, so she understands the situation. She confirms that Alfred, the founder of the Vritra cult, was the one who sent them. Mise is confused as to why Alfred would do such a thing, and Tinny calls him dense. She explains that it's simple jealousy, because even with the engagement called off, Princess Lucy still likes him. Tinny tells her brother that the kingdom's current prosperity is honestly all thanks to him. Mise questions this, asking if she wasn't the one protecting the country as Vritra. She clarifies that she was never protecting the kingdom, only her brother. Having made her point, she happily hugs him, declaring she is going to Belgrade with him. Mise worries about the kingdom's protection, but Tinny says she doesn't care about a country without him. She declares that they will always be together now. With the guardian dragon abandoning it, the kingdom's collapse is now only a matter of time. Tinny confesses that she is already tired of pretending to be the guardian dragon, Vritra. She excitedly proposes they leave the country immediately and head for the Belgrade territory, to which Mise agrees. Tinny then offers to give him a ride. Before Mise can react, Tinny transforms into her massive dragon form, announcing she will take off. Mise points out that if she flies around in her dragon form, they will stand out too much. He reminds her that Vritra is the country's guardian dragon, and it would be impossible not to be seen. He adds that if the dragon flies away, the citizens are sure to panic. Understanding his point, Tinny devises a new plan. Her new idea is to give Mise a piggyback ride while in her human form, leaving him completely flustered. She cheekily suggests he should hug her tightly from behind. Mise rejects the idea, stating it would be too much of a burden for her and would draw even more attention. He decides they should just buy a horse instead. Tinny asks if they have enough money for a horse, but Mise reassures her that he has a fair amount. They arrive at a stable and inquire about purchasing a horse. After hearing they need to get to Belgrade, the stable owner says he has just the right one. The stable master presents a single, scrawny-looking horse. He explains that unfortunately, this is the only horse they have. He then demands a shocking price of 40 gold coins. Furious, Tinny concludes that this is just more harassment from a rotten country, while the stable master looks on in confusion. To avoid trouble, Mise quickly pays the full amount, insisting the horse will be just fine. As they lead the horse away, Tinny angrily asks her brother why he tolerated such rude behavior towards a high-ranking noble. Mise explains that he stopped her because he knew she was about to burn the entire store down. Tinny expresses her doubt that the weak-looking horse can make it all the way to Belgrade. Mise replies that its success will depend on the horse itself. Mise speaks to the horse, asking if it wants one more chance to run across the earth to its heart's content. A flicker of determination appears in the horse's eye. With the horse's unspoken consent, Mise prepares to use his power. He places his hand on the horse and activates his Genesis alchemy. The frail horse undergoes an existence evolution, transforming into a magnificent, rank SSS unicorn. Mise admits he was aiming for a simple A-rank horse, but his skill resulted in an SSS rank unicorn instead. Relieved that his alchemy succeeded, Mise is ready to depart. He tells Tinny to hop on so they can get moving. They set off on the unicorn, which dashes through the streets at an incredible speed. Both are thrilled by the pace, with Mise realizing they will reach Belgrade in no time. As they ride, Mise notices his hand bleeding from the strain of the transformation. He becomes flustered when Tinny starts leaning against him. She cheekily admits she's leaning on him on purpose. The ride is interrupted when Tinny complains that her horn is poking him. After coming to a stop, they realize their high-speed departure has drawn the attention of the townsfolk, and they agree to practice controlling the speed. Their journey to Belgrade is a series of quiet moments, traveling through forests and resting by campfires, with Tinny occasionally reverting to her dragon form. Nearing their destination, Tinny marvels at their speed. Mise, however, gives the credit to her, explaining that their peaceful passage was only possible because the local monsters are under her command as Vritra. Indeed, a group of monsters who welcome them as the supreme beings see them off. Tinny's expression turns serious as she warns Mise that the monsters around Belgrade are not under her control and they must be ready for anything. Mise agrees to keep his guard up. Suddenly, she shouts for him to hold on. A projectile hurtles towards them. A huge rock crashes right in front of them, narrowly missing. Startled, Mise cries out in shock. Tinny observes that a nearby town appears to be under siege by monsters. Mise thinks the situation looks bad, but wonders if the rock was just a stray shot. Enraged that her brother was attacked, Tinny insists they cannot let it slide. Agreeing, Mise suggests they hurry towards the town immediately. Mise urges the unicorn onward. They race towards the besieged town, which they can now see in the distance. Upon arrival, they find the town completely devastated and eerily quiet. Mise looks on in stunned silence. A massive cyclops stands amidst the rubble, holding a large rock. Mise quickly identifies the cause of the destruction. A massive cyclops brings its fist down with a crash. It smashes a vendor's cart, its single eye wide with destructive glee. Tinny observes that the monsters seem to be attacking the town just for fun. Mise expresses his concern for the townspeople. She alerts him that there's more than one monster and that another fight is happening nearby. All around them, defeated knights litter the ground. The Belgrade knights stand their ground, declaring they won't let the monsters destroy their town. However, they are quickly overwhelmed by the Cyclops' might. Seeing this, Mise urgently tells Tinny to bring out Levantine. Tinny confirms she has imbued her magic into the weapon and tells Mise to use it as he summons the SSS rank magic lance, Levantine. Mise prepares to unleash the powerful weapon. With a powerful thrust, Mise unleashes the magic lance, which streaks through the air toward the startled Cyclops. The lance makes contact with incredible force. The devastating impact kicks up a massive cloud of dust. The aftermath of the attack leaves a massive crater where the Cyclops stood. The surviving knights stare in disbelief, wondering what just happened. The Cyclops is completely pulverized in a single hit. The knights are stunned, exclaiming that it was an A-rank monster. Tinny praises her brother's impressive display, but Mise nervously asks if anyone was in the area of the blast. The knights spot the pair on a unicorn, demanding to know who they are. As another Cyclops looms over them, Tinny begins to proudly introduce her brother. The knights scream in terror at the new threat. Before the monster can attack, Tinny calmly tells them to lower their heads. With a menacing look, Tinny leaps from the unicorn and flies towards the Cyclops. She prepares to strike the monster. She gracefully lands on the monster's arm. With blinding speed, she slices through the Cyclops. The Cyclops is defeated in an instant, and Tinny lands nonchalantly while Mise looks on with a satisfied expression. Acting as if nothing happened, Tinny introduces her brother Mise as the new lord of Belgrade. Mise declares that he rushed from the capital to help defend the town. The knights are shocked to hear he came all the way from the royal capital. Noticing their coughing, Tinny asks her brother if he is injured, but he ignores her as she tries to warn him about the soldiers. Tinny gravely informs Mise that the knights have the Black Death. The knights continue to cough violently. Mise is stunned by this revelation. The knights plead with them to stay away, but Mise is confused, stating the king never mentioned any plague in this area. Mise realizes with grim determination that the soldiers were fighting to protect the town despite their debilitating illness. He resolves that he cannot let them die. He instructs Tinny to undo the transformation. Tinny agrees, and together they stand ready, declaring their intent to protect the town. Tinny begins to transform, her body shifting into a much larger draconic form. She lets out a mighty roar as she fully transforms into a colossal dragon. The knights watch in terror, recognizing her as Vritra, the guardian dragon of the kingdom. Vritra confirms her identity, shocking the knights that a dragon can speak. She then gives all the credit to Mise, proclaiming him the supreme and greatest one. The knights are left utterly bewildered by this claim. Mise blushes, flattered and confused by the high praise, wondering if they could possibly mean him. The remaining Cyclopes tremble in fear before the mighty dragon. Vritra glares at them, declaring that their foolishness is worthy of 1,000 deaths. Vritra's horn glows with power as she prepares to unleash a devastating attack on the terrified Cyclops. With Tinny hovering in the background, the mighty Vritra stares down the remaining monsters, questioning if they truly believe they can escape. Faced with Vritra's overwhelming power, the Cyclopes immediately offer to surrender and submit. Vritra questions their sudden offer to surrender. She wonders what kind of misunderstanding they are under. Vritra coldly informs them that for daring to bare their fangs at her brother, death is their only option. The Cyclopes are horrified by her declaration. She prepares to strike them down. Just as Vritra is about to attack, Mize calls out to her as Tinny, telling her to wait. He implores her to forgive the monsters, pointing out that they have already surrendered. Vritra questions her brother's decision. Mize argues that he dislikes the idea of attacking an enemy who has raised a white flag. He explains that for the sake of the citizens, he wants to find a way for humans and monsters to coexist. Reluctantly, Vritra agrees to her brother's wishes. She then turns to the trembling Cyclopes and fiercely commands them to be grateful for Mize's generosity. The Cyclopes tearfully thank Mize, pledging their loyalty and addressing him as Shadow Demon King Sama. Having reverted to her human form, Tinny sternly orders them to repair the town they destroyed and ensure the barricades are finished by the end of the day. The Cyclopes readily agree. Mize is bewildered by the strange nickname. Meanwhile, the Cyclopes realize that bringing the local demons under control could be beneficial. This would allow them to reduce military expenses and redirect resources to other areas. As the Cyclopes begin to rebuild, the knights marvel at this turn of events. They see it as a miracle for a land on the verge of ruin, as they no longer have to fear monsters. One of the knights then begs Mize to protect the land in their place, as they are afflicted by illness and awaiting death. Mize is shocked to hear them talk about dying. Mize firmly tells the knights that no one is going to die, declaring that he will cure them. His promise leaves the knights utterly stunned and speechless. The knights are skeptical, explaining that once infected, there is no effective treatment. Even the former lord succumbed to the illness. Tinny proudly interjects, boasting that everyone is lucky because her brother is the greatest alchemist in the country's history. A knight wonders if his alchemy was also responsible for the earlier dragon transformation. Mize announces he will use Genesis alchemy, a powerful technique of existence evolution, to transmute a healing potion. He successfully creates a rank SSS panacea elixir. He hands the potion to one of the knights. She hesitantly drinks the elixir as instructed. The knight is amazed to find herself fully healed in an instant. The other knights notice their own wounds are disappearing as well and ask if he truly created an elixir, to which Mize confirms he will make more. Mize states that the potions they have are insufficient and asks if the knights could gather more from around town. The knights, realizing the incurable Black Death can be cured, eagerly agree to gather them right away. A large number of potions are gathered. Looking at the supply, Mize notes it is still not enough. A knight suggests they prioritize giving the elixirs to the seriously injured. She asks about some grotesque, misshapen masses nearby. Mize explains they are failed attempts, as his success rate is not 100%. Mize determines they will need a workshop to improve the success rate. He decides they will have to set up equipment, starting with an alchemy cauldron. Tinny points out that he didn't need a cauldron when he treated her or created the unicorn. Mize somberly explains that if those attempts had failed, the results could have been as monstrous as the failed potions. The sight of the failed creations terrifies both Tinny and the unicorn. A knight expresses her gratitude, admitting they thought the royal capital had abandoned them. Mize is shocked, revealing that he wasn't even informed about a plague in the area. The knight asks why he came to Belgrade, and Mize explains that the king doesn't believe he can produce an elixir. He recalls his brother Alfred sending him to the frontier. Tinny speculates that Alfred might have known about the disease, and perhaps the king was only told that the previous lord had passed away. Tinny becomes enraged, declaring that the king committed a serious crime by exiling her brother and that she would crush him if she could. She adds that it's the truth and they will eventually perish on their own. Mize, alarmed, realizes he needs to smooth things over before her words are seen as treason. Mize quickly dismisses his sister's comments, telling the knight that turning into a dragon has left her lacking in common sense. He asks her not to take Tinny seriously. Just then, a Cyclops approaches, addressing Mize as the Shadow Demon King. The Cyclops tearfully asks if he could get just one elixir. The Cyclops points to his fallen comrades, explaining that they are still breathing. He pleads with Mise for help. Mise immediately moves to help, assuring the Cyclops that of course he will. Tinny questions his decision, but Mise insists that they are their comrades now, and if there's a chance to save them, he must take it. As the dying Cyclops is healed in an instant, the knights look on. Moved by his compassion, the Belgrade knights swear their absolute loyalty to him. Surrounded by his new followers, both human and monster, Mise Windsor is hailed as their new lord. Mise inquires about the distribution of potions, asking about trade with merchants from other towns. A knight informs him that the supply from their town alone wasn't enough, and now all trade has come to a halt. Many people have fled out of fear of the Black Death, and merchants refuse to come near the town. Mise realizes the situation is more serious than he thought, as without a supply of potions, he cannot create the life-saving elixirs. The knight is perplexed, wondering why someone who can create an elixir would find it difficult to make simple potions. Mise explains that his Genesis alchemy skill only allows him to transmute items of SSS rank or higher, and any attempt on lower-ranked items always fails. Understanding the predicament, the knight suggests there might be a stockpile in the Lord's mansion. He explains that the previous Lord was also an alchemist and had a workshop there which delights Tinny. The knight offers to show them the way. The group arrives at a large, stately mansion. However, his calls are met with complete silence. As the knight continues to yell, Mise wonders if they simply can't be heard from inside, while Tinny mutters about the rude reception. The knight apologizes for the lack of response, explaining that a young maid named Eris was supposed to be managing the mansion after the previous lord passed away. Mise is concerned, wondering how she could manage such a large estate alone. He fears she may have collapsed inside from the Black Death, and tells Tinny to open the gate. With a powerful strike, Tinny smashes the iron gate to pieces. Mise sheepishly admits he was hoping Tinny could fly over and unlock the gate from the inside. Seeing the damage, he decides they'll have one of the Cyclopes fix it later. The knight marvels at how reliable she is. Despite all the noise they've made, there is still no reaction from within the mansion, and Mise senses that something is truly wrong. Upon entering the mansion, they find it eerily quiet. The knight calls out for Eris but receives no answer. The profound silence gives Mise a bad feeling. Anxious to find the maid, Mise instructs the commander to search the second floor while he and Tinny take the first. To cover more ground quickly, Tinny activates her Farsight ability to scan the building. Tinny's Farsight scans the entire mansion, confirming that besides the three of them, there are no other people inside. As they search room by room, they find the interior to be impeccably clean and well-maintained. Mise is puzzled, finding it hard to believe one person could maintain such a large mansion all alone. Mise observes that the mansion has been cleaned thoroughly in every corner, which seems odd given the master's passing. He deduces that someone must have been here very recently. The knight commander returns, reporting no luck on the second floor. Just then Tinny appears, and Mise asks if her Farsight found anything. Tinny reports that she couldn't find anyone else, confirming it seems no one is inside the mansion. Mise finds this strange, as even with Tinny's skill, they've found nothing. Suddenly, Tinny announces that she has detected other life signs. She points them in the direction. The life sign turns out to be a cat, apparently the one kept at the mansion. It cautiously approaches them and lets out a meow. Tinny turns to her brother and tells him the cat wants to come with them. The knight is astonished that she can understand what the cat is saying, so Mise explains it's a side effect of her dragon transformation. They decide to let the cat tag along. The cat quickly leads them outside to the mansion's garden. Tinny, communicating with the cat, suddenly realizes why it led them there and exclaims that someone has collapsed nearby. They discover a maid lying unconscious in the bushes. Mise rushes to her side, asking if she's okay. He immediately recognizes the symptoms of the Black Death. Without hesitation, he pulls out an elixir and urges the collapsed maid to drink it. The maid awakens, feeling her body has been healed and wondering what happened. Mise confirms that they made it just in time. Tinny introduces herself as Mise Windsor's sister and clarifies that her brother is the new lord of Belgrade. Upon hearing this, the maid is shocked and quickly apologizes for her rudeness. The maid bows deeply, introducing herself as Eris and thanking them for saving her. Tinny points out that the cat Mina showed them the way. Delighted, Eris scoops up the cat and thanks it as well. Mise then abruptly asks Eris if she could guide them to the workshop. Eris suggests they rest from their long journey, but Mise insists they must begin mass-producing elixirs immediately. Eris is stunned to realize the medicine she drank was an elixir. Tinny expresses concern for her brother, reminding him that he must be tired after using his alchemy in town. Though exhausted, Mise knows the town is on the verge of collapse and there is no time to rest. With unwavering determination, he declares that he will save Belgrade with his alchemy. Mise recalls his past, where an alchemical treatment for his sister's disease inadvertently turned her into a dragon. While she protected the kingdom as the guardian dragon Valatra, the kings didn't believe his story and exiled him to the frontier land of Belgrade. Now faced with a town overflowing with people dying from the Black Death, Mise is determined to save them all with his alchemy. Eris understands the urgency and agrees to guide Mise and his companions to the alchemy workshop located within the mansion. The Knight Commander announces he will return to his duties with the city's security, entrusting Eris to handle things. Eris leads them down a previously unknown hidden staircase, announcing they've arrived at the alchemy workshop. Mise is astonished, having had no idea such a place existed underground. Upon opening the door, they are met with a thick cloud of dust from the neglected workshop. Eris and the knight apologize profusely, explaining that the previous lord had forbidden them from entering without permission, which is why it hasn't been cleaned. Mise reconsiders cleaning, noting that since the master is gone, there might be dangerous items left behind. Eris suddenly begins to disrobe, taking off her maid uniform. Mise and Tinny are shocked and demand to know what she is doing. Standing in her undergarments, Eris timidly asks if he isn't going to hit her with a whip. A flustered Mise vehemently denies that he would ever do such a thing. He asks if the previous lord subjected her to that. Eris confirms it, adding that she believed it was normal since the other maids were treated the same way. Mise firmly states he would never do something like that and hands Eris her clothes back. Watching this, Tinny tells the Knight Commander to give a stern warning to anyone who treats Eris poorly, which he readily agrees to. Tinny gets close to Eris, warning her not to make any strange advances on her brother. Seeing the workshop still needs cleaning, Mise entrusts the task to Tinny, who happily accepts. Tinny activates her infinite warehouse ability, assuring them she'll be watching. With a powerful gust of wind magic, Tinny begins to suck all the dust and clutter from the room into her dimensional storage. In an instant, the once filthy workshop is rendered perfectly clean and organized, leaving Mise and Eris standing in stunned silence. Eris is astonished as she watches everything vanish, questioning if it's some kind of magic. Tinny laughs, explaining that the ability to store and retrieve items is thanks to a unique magical tool her brother alchemized, declaring it's the only one in the world. Tinny boasts that her brother has created many amazing things, including magical weapons and elixirs. She even reveals that he created the sacred unicorn outside, much to Eris's surprise. Eris, recalling that the Windsor family descends from the great alchemist Paracelsus, begins to wonder about Mice's power. She remarks that his abilities seem to far surpass that of his famous ancestor. However, Mice quickly interjects, stating that is not the case. Mice humbly insists that he is still quite inexperienced. His words seem to trigger a memory for Tinny, whose expression shifts. Tinny arrives with a large alchemy pot, asking her brother Mise where to put it. Mise notices the pot looks different from the one he used to have. Eris recognizes it as her father's alchemy pot, and Tinny explains she brought it with her before their journey. In a flashback, Eris's father is startled by a large claw smashing through the wall. He looks up in shock to see the imposing figure of the dragon, Lord Valatra. Valatra offers him the alchemy pot he was wishing for. Tinny explains that it was a request from a daughter to her father, and Mise notes the story wasn't so long after all. Mise seems to accept the situation, though he is still processing the name Valatra. Eris, confused, asks if the tiny girl is his younger sister. Tinny then makes a shocking declaration: she is the guardian dragon Valatra. Seeing Eris's disbelief, Tinny explains that she can't transform there, but they will understand eventually. Mise assesses their supplies, finding plenty of materials but realizing they are almost completely out of potion stock. He wonders if there's any way out of their predicament. A cat named Mina appears. Eris scolds the cat for being in the workshop, but Mise observes that the animal seems quite attached to him. Mise asks Eris if she knows the cause of the Black Death, and she mentions a theory about it being a bird. Mise corrects her, revealing the true culprit is a rat. He explains that the very smart cat Mina had guided them to Eris for help. He tells Eris he is about to make a terrible proposal, which she is free to refuse. Mais proposes using his alchemy to evolve Mina into a sacred beast, promising to stop if Mina herself is against it. Mais is honest about the dangers, explaining that a failure could turn Mina into a monster. Mina looks shocked at this possibility. Mais promises that even if the worst happens, he will definitely bring Mina back. Eris admits she is worried. Holding Mina close, Eris puts her faith in her master. Mais thanks her for her trust. He then turns to Tinny, asking her to speak with Mina. Tinny playfully meows, ready to communicate with the cat. Mais explains that Tinny can understand the language of animals and monsters, much to Eris's jealous surprise. Tinny relays Mina's thoughts, telling Eris the cat would do anything to help her mom. Stunned, Eris asks if Mina really thinks of her that way. Tinny confirms it, adding that Mina is grateful for being taken in 3 years ago. Overjoyed, Eris embraces her beloved cat. With both Eris and Tinny believing in him, Mais feels the weight of his responsibility. He reflects that what he's attempting is different from creating the legendary unicorn. This time, he is creating a unique existence not even mentioned in legends. A wave of self-doubt washes over him as he wonders if he can truly succeed. Sensing her brother's hesitation, Tinny firmly grasps his hand. She looks at him with conviction, telling him that she also believes in him and that he can definitely do it. Bolstered by their faith, Mais' determination solidifies as he declares that they will proceed with the sacred beast alchemy. Mais directs Tinny to add a tiny amount of the alchemical solution. Tinny confirms and carefully pours the liquid into the large pot. With the first ingredient added, Mais takes over, plunging a glowing rod into the mixture. The concoction begins to bubble and react. Eris and Mina watch nervously. Mais channels his power, invoking a rank SSS ability, Creation Alchemy Existence Evolution. A blinding light erupts from the pot, startling Eris and Tinny. As the light subsides, Tinny cries out for Mina. A large figure leaps from the pot, complaining that it is hot. The creature darts away with incredible speed. The transformed cat is identified as rank SSS Sacred Beast Mina. She shakes off the alchemical goo, complaining that some went in her mouth. A stunned Eris asks if the giant creature can understand her. Mina affectionately reassures Eris, whom she calls Mama, and promises to repay her for all the delicious meals. Seeing the transformation was a success, Mais immediately gives Mina a mission. He asks her to eradicate the rats causing the Black Death. Mina enthusiastically accepts the task. Mina unleashes her cat master skill, and suddenly a legion of cats appears from everywhere. Eris is delighted by how cute they are, while Mais realizes Mina must have summoned them. Mina proudly explains that these cats were summoned by her skill and will obey her every command. She rallies her new troops for the task ahead. With a rallying cry, Mina leads her feline army on a mission to exterminate the rats. Mais is confident that with this, they can eradicate the Black Death. He then turns his attention to securing potions to make the elixir. Princess Lucy confronts her father, the king, demanding to know what has happened to Lord Mais. The king asks what has her so upset, while Alfred observes from the top of the stairs. The king coldly informs Lucy that Mais has been exiled from the country. The news leaves the princess in a state of shock. She frantically questions her father's plans for the country's defense, fearing they are now vulnerable to attack. Her father dismisses her concerns, stating that the guardian dragon Valatra was present. Lucy passionately argues that it was Lord Mais who was truly protecting the nation. The king, annoyed, questions what she is even saying. The king insists that Valatra's presence is the only reason monsters and the Malden Empire have been kept at bay. Lucy counters that Valatra is an artificial beast created by Lord Mais. An advisor recalls Mais saying something similar. Lucy demands to know why her father would exile him if he knew this truth. Enraged, the king refuses to believe such a story, calling Mais an incompetent who can't even brew a potion. He accuses Lucy of having lingering feelings for her ex-fiancé and claims her words insult Valatra. He reminds her that Mais is gone and she has a new fiancé. Lucy realizes that Alfred is behind the current situation. The king reveals that Alfred is the root cause of the situation. Upon hearing this, Lucy declares that she will prepare for a trip, but her father tries to stop her. Lucy announces her intention to go to Belgrade and chase after Lord Mais, despite her father's disapproval. She retorts that her reasons are not selfish, they must bring him back or the country will be destroyed. As a princess, Lucy declares she will act to protect her country. She challenges her father, asking if he wants to wait until they are under attack to realize the truth. The king can only growl in frustration at her defiance. The castle gates open, and Princess Lucy walks out with resolve. From a nearby pillar, Alfred watches her departure. Alfred steps out and confronts Lucy, asking where she is going. When she says Belgrade, he smirks, claiming he has come to retrieve his fiancée. Lucy furiously rejects him, declaring that her fiancé is Lord Mise and telling him to get out of her way. Alfred sneers, revealing that he sent the Valatra cult after Mise and is surprised he escaped. With a menacing look, he warns Lucy that if she insists on getting in his way, he will make this place her grave. She hums a cheerful tune as she walks through the city. Her body feels incredibly light, a stark contrast to her recent suffering from the Black Death. With Lord Mice's arrival, the city of Belgrade is recovering, and Mina's summoned cats are dealing with the plague-carrying rats. The maid believes Lord Mice will find a way to handle everything, so she focuses on her duty to serve him a fine meal. She daydreams about serving her master not just during the day, but into the night as well. She is embarrassed by her own inappropriate thoughts. Suddenly, she is grabbed from behind and silenced. A masked assassin holds the maid captive, telling her not to struggle. The assassin reveals they have her mother and demands she poison Mise Windsor's dish to save her. The maid realizes with horror that she is holding a vial of poison. The assassin reinforces the threat, asking if she cares about what happens to her mother. She realizes her attacker approached without a sound, likely using a silencing spell. The assassin reveals a magical tool that can show distant places, telling her to look at who is appearing on it. The maid is horrified to see her captured mother displayed in the magical orb. The assassin states that if she cooperates, both she and her mother will be released. The assassin gives her an ultimatum: cooperate or her mother dies by tomorrow. The maid struggles with the thought of poisoning her master. She knows she cannot interfere with the work of someone who will save so many lives. Her captor coldly observes what a devoted maid she is. The assassin decides that since she won't cooperate, she is worthless and orders her mother's death. The maid desperately begs them to stop. Just then, an unseen person interrupts, demanding to know what is happening. Mise Windsor, with Mina beside him, confronts the attackers and demands they release her. The assassins are stunned by the sudden appearance of Mise Windsor. The assassins are shocked that their presence was noticed. Mina scoffs at their attempt to hide their presence, calling it naive. She explains that her network of cats across the land immediately informs them of any intruders. The maid cries with relief, calling out to Mina. The maid worries that Master Mise and Alchemist cannot fight assassins, while the assassins decide they must now fight directly. Fearing for his life, she pleads with him to flee. Mise glares, ready for a confrontation. The assassin grabs the maid, threatening her life to stop Mise and Mina from advancing. He warns them to stay back, acknowledging the presence of the large cat as well. Mise instantly realizes that he is the assassin's target and demands to know who they are. He correctly assumes his brother Alfred is behind the attack, viewing Mise as a nuisance. He declares that he cannot forgive his brother for involving unrelated people in their conflict. Holding Eris hostage, one of the assassins orders Mise Windsor to drop his weapons, stating they have no time for idle talk. Eris cries out in despair, begging Lord Mise not to comply with their demands. With a determined expression, Mise states that he understands the situation. He slowly lowers his sword as if to surrender. The assassin holding Eris is shocked to see him actually discard his weapon. With the sword on the ground, Mise calmly says, "Activation." He casts a powerful paralysis spell that radiates outward, catching his enemies off guard. One of the assassins, revealed to be a skeleton, is caught in the blast. The assassins are completely immobilized by the magical force. They can only cry out as the paralysis takes hold. The assassins are frozen in place, their bodies cracking under the spell's power. Eris, now free, wonders what just happened. Mise calmly explains that the weapon is a rank SSS magic paralyzation sword, specialized for non-lethal subdual, a gift he expected from his brother. With the danger gone, Mina rushes over to a startled Eris. She asks if Eris is okay, and the maid confirms she is unhurt. Despite being safe, Eris tearfully explains that her mother has been taken hostage. Mina cheerfully announces that she's already traced the magic to the thieves' hideout and that they should go crush them while rescuing the hostages. Mise turns to Eris and asks her to wait for his return. He vows to save her mother and asks Mina to take care of Eris in his absence. Filled with worry, Eris asks if they are truly capable of such a feat. Mai stands beside a saluting Mina and confidently states that there is nothing the two of them cannot accomplish, telling Eris to wait with peace of mind. With tears of hope streaming down her face, Eris puts her faith in them and begs for her mother's safe return. Mina transforms into her powerful dragon form, and with Mai aboard, they launch themselves into the air. While in flight, Mai asks Mina for the hideout's location, and she replies that it's a ruined castle in the northern forest. Mai commands her to head there at full speed, and she acknowledges the order. As Mina soars through the sky in her dragon form, Mai urgently tells her to hurry. He shouts that Elis's mother is in danger. Mina acknowledges him, addressing him as her brother. Mina explains that the enemy base is within her range of control. Mai expresses his amazement that Mina managed to control the area's monsters in just 2 days. She telepathically commanded nearby goblins and wyverns to attack. Mina confirms the plan is to create a diversion without killing anyone. The diversion begins as goblins attack the assassin's hideout. The men are in a panic as goblins suddenly break into the castle, forcing them to try and escape. Their escape is cut short when they look outside and see a swarm of flying dragons. The assassins realize they are completely surrounded and must retreat back inside. Inside the castle, the assassins find themselves cornered and overwhelmed by the horde of goblins. They are forced to defend themselves against the onslaught. Elis's mother watches with weary relief as her rescuers arrive. Mina announces their arrival to Mai. Mai instructs Mina to charge straight in, and she readily agrees. Mina smashes through the castle wall with immense force, sending rubble flying and catching the assassins completely by surprise. One of the men looks up in terror. He sees the demonic grin of the massive dragon looming over him. The goblins cheer, recognizing their leader, Lord Vritra. The human assassins are stunned into disbelief, realizing who has just arrived. Mai finds Elis's mother. She is protected inside a bubble amidst the rubble. Mai asks if she is all right. He begins to untie her ropes. She coughs but immediately pleads with him to save her daughter, unaware that Eris is already safe. Mai reassures her that Eris is safe and that they came at her daughter's request. The remaining assassins wonder about Vritra's disappearance and who these new people are. Mai offers the woman a healing elixir. The woman is astonished as the pain in her body vanishes instantly. She asks Mai if what she just drank was an elixir. She apologizes profusely for him using such a precious item on her. Mina proudly chimes in that for her brother, making an elixir of that level is a piece of cake. The assassins are shocked, knowing only 7 such elixirs should exist in the world. One of them recognizes Mai's Windsor. Another, caring little for the elixir, sees only his target, declaring that killing Mai will set him up for life. With a manic grin, one of the assassins lunges forward. He swings his blade down towards Elis's mother. Before the blade can connect, Mina appears in her smaller form, effortlessly blocking the attack with a single hand, much to the surprise of the other assassins. Another assassin attempts to strike Mina from behind. She easily parries his sword. She also deflects his thrown daggers. Meanwhile, the now-healed mother of Eris blocks an attack meant for Mai, punching the assailant squarely in the face. Mai casts a paralyzed sword spell, electrocuting an attacker. The spell incapacitates him instantly. The defeated assassins are left in shock. One can't reconcile what he's seeing with the rumors he heard about Mai being a useless alchemist. He is equally baffled by Mina's incredible strength. Mina overhears the assassin calling her brother useless. The assassin recoils in fear. She states that the comment is incredibly unpleasant, her eyes swirling with rage. Mina grabs the lead assassin and demands to know who his employer is. He defiantly refuses to answer. Her eyes narrow as she gives him a 10-second time limit. Mina repeats her 10-second demand and threatens to let the goblins play with them. The countdown begins. This threat is enough to make the terrified assassins crack, and they immediately agree to talk. As the countdown nears its end, the assassin caves. He screams that their employer is Mr. Alfred Windsor. Hearing his name, Alfred, who is present, simply remarks, "Is that so?" Elis's mother is horrified by Alfred's cruelty. Mai states that as his older brother, he must set Alfred straight. He agrees with his brother's sentiment. Mina suggests they turn the country to ashes, a notion Mai quickly dismisses as going too far. Mai decides to just send a warning message for now. Mina understands, but warns she won't let it slide next time. The assassins protest in terror. Mina tells the goblins they can do whatever they want with the men. Mina playfully asks who made such a promise to let them go, again offering them to the goblins. Mice tells one of them not to worry about being killed. Mina adds a sinister however. She clarifies that they will be dealt with socially. The assassins scream as the goblins descend upon them. The assassins are thoroughly humiliated by the goblins, who draw all over their faces. The goblins and a gleeful Mina celebrate their handiwork, while Mice looks on, exasperated. A goblin reports finding a warehouse full of potions and food. Mice is excited by the news of a large potion stash. He realizes these were the culprits stopping potion distribution in Belgrade and exclaims that with these materials, they can make a lot of elixirs. Mice asks the Shadow Demon King to transport the potions to Belgrade immediately. With this new resource, he clenches his fist. He declares confidently that he has a plan to solve the Black Death. Outside the castle of the Kingdom of Elphasia, a retainer pleads with Princess Lucy. He questions her decision to go to Belgrade. Determined, Lucy affirms her mission to bring back Lord Mize for the country's sake, while her retainer suggests she take more guards. Lucy declines the extra guards, stating that the monsters have become more active since the guardian dragon Valatra's absence, so the soldiers are needed to protect the country. She believes it will become safer the closer they get to Belgrade. Her retainer bows, wishing her to take care. As she departs, a shadowy figure watches from a window. The figure is Alfred, who seethes with rage upon realizing Princess Lucy has actually gone to Belgrade. In a fit of fury, he smashes a table. Alfred rants about Lucy's preference for his brother, whom he calls a useless piece of trash who cannot even make a potion. He smirks, confident that by the time Lucy arrives in Belgrade, Mize will already be dead, thanks to the assassin he dispatched. He fantasizes about winning over a despairing Princess Lucy upon her return, imagining that she will come to her senses. He believes both she and the country will soon be his. His maniacal laughter echoes through the room. His laughter is cut short when something outside catches his eye, leaving him bewildered. His plan has gone awry as the assassins he hired have been soundly defeated. He sees a mysterious figure walking away from the defeated assassins. Stunned, Alfred can only stare and wonder who these mysterious people are. Alfred recognizes the defeated men as the assassins he hired. He sees the state of his defeated men. He watches a small bat-like creature fly away and grimly wonders if this was his brother's doing. The scroll is a message for Alfred. It's a warning from Mize to stop involving innocent people and that he won't hold back if it happens again. The lead assassin grovels, apologizing for their complete failure. Alfred reacts with fury. The assassins recount their defeat, explaining that their hideout was attacked by a horde of monsters and a woman who transformed into an incredibly strong Valatra. Alfred listens intently, questioning if she is the one who becomes Valatra. He silently speculates whether Mize used mimicry magic or had a massive number of monsters. He wonders if Mize hired a top-notch tamer, calling him a sneaky bastard. Fed up with their pleas for help, he tells them to shut up. Losing his patience, Alfred shouts at the assassins to be quiet. With a smug look, he activates a rank communication magic tool, preparing his next move. Alfred contacts a group of mercenaries led by a man with an eye patch who greets Lord Alfred and asks for his business. Alfred asks how long it would take to travel to Belgrade, and the man replies it would take about 2 days. Alfred notes that it will take Princess Lucy at least 5 days to arrive. He then coldly states that he has an order. With a malevolent grin, Alfred orders the mercenaries to invade Belgrade and burn everything to the ground. The mercenaries are shocked, reminding him that Belgrade is part of the kingdom. Alfred dismisses their concerns, claiming the government has sanctioned the attack based on false information that the city is plotting a rebellion. He commands them to annihilate all residents. Alfred details his plan. The mercenaries are to leave no witnesses and pin the blame on monsters during the cleanup. The mercenaries are eager to eliminate them all. To aid in the deception, he instructs them to wear gear provided to the kingdom's soldiers to lure the townspeople into a false sense of security before killing them. The mercenary leader acknowledges the order with a simple, understood. Alfred inwardly scoffs at the foolish mercenaries who so easily believed his lies about the kingdom's government. He muses that the spreading Black Death will ensure the invaders also meet their end. Still, he remains curious about the strong woman who transformed into Valatra. He decides he should take extra precautions. Alfred descends into a dark dungeon where a guard, surprised to see him, asks why he is there. Alfred casually greets the guard. He glances towards a cage of monsters, remarking that he should let them exercise once in a while. He adds that it would be cruel to keep them locked up all the time. In Belgrade, a man is amazed to see the spots of the Black Death fading from his skin. A young girl joyfully embraces her cured father, thanking Mise. Watching the happy reunion, Mise considers how widespread the disease might be. He suggests to Mina that they should also drink the elixir as a precaution against relapse. Mina points something out to her brother. Looking out, they see that the town is now overflowing with cats. There are cats everywhere you look. The town is filled with cats from corner to corner. Mina is ecstatic, calling the sight a feast for the eyes, while Mise observes that the cats should eliminate the cause of the Black Death. Mina proudly remarks that it's just as expected of her big brother, finding it hard to believe the city was on the brink of death so recently. Mina praises Mise, saying she never expected such a quick and precise response, and that his skills as a lord are top-notch. A flustered Mise deflects the compliment. Mina insists it's true and gives him a hug. She accidentally pokes him with her horn and apologizes. He notes that their next issue is food shortages, as the supplies from the hideout won't last forever. Mise refocuses, suggesting they revive the stalled trade. He suspects the distribution was deliberately cut off, which is troublesome, just as a knight reports that they have finished distributing the elixirs. A group of women from the Knights Order thank Mise. Mise is taken aback and asks about the people. The knight explains that everyone is eager to meet him and express their gratitude. Mise is suddenly surrounded by a crowd of grateful townspeople. They praise him as the greatest alchemist in history, the esteemed creator of the miracle potion, and the savior of their lives. The townspeople's adoration grows, with some even calling him a reincarnation of the legendary alchemist Paracelsus, which Mina proudly agrees with. Overcome with gratitude, one woman grabs Mise's hand and declares she will do anything he says. Mina swoops in, separating the woman from Mise, possessively stating that Mise is her older brother and warning her not to meddle. The intimidated woman agrees. Mise then instructs the knight leaders to drink the elixir again as a precaution, which they readily accept. Just as things seem to be settling down, a massive explosion erupts, destroying a building where Cyclopes were working. Mina and the others are startled by the sudden blast. Mise questions the explosion. Panic spreads as explosions rock the city, and citizens flee in terror. Mise cries out to everyone. Mina calls out to her cat-like form and rushes into the fray. She shields the people from the attack. Mina, in her giant cat form, shields the populace from further harm. Mise realizes with horror that the town is on fire. Mina tells her brother that this is an attack by magic. She reveals their enemy is not a monster. The attackers are revealed to be human soldiers. Mise recognizes their armor as that of the Elphasia kingdom. The leader of Belgrade's knights asks if they intend to burn the town to stop the plague. He desperately shouts that the disease has already been cured. Mina effortlessly blocks an attack. Lucy realizes with dread what is happening. The enemy commander smirks, claiming the king himself must have sent them. She realizes the soldiers are also under Alfred's orders. With a pained expression, Mise confirms her suspicion. Mina's face contorts with rage, her expression terrifying as she reminds the soldiers that she warned them. With glowing eyes, she vows they will never lay a hand on her brother again. A massive black dragon looms over the battlefield, causing the soldiers to stop in their tracks. Mise stares up in shock, recognizing the beast as the guardian dragon Valatra. Mise and his formidable allies stand united, ready to face the imposing dragon that stands before them. Mise quietly instructs Tiny to investigate, wanting to be safe. He asks for just enough of a distraction to avoid total annihilation. The sudden appearance of the beast leaves the mercenaries stunned. The enemy commander, though sweating, tries to rally his troops, declaring that the dragon is merely a fake created by illusion magic and not the real guardian dragon. Unfazed by the illusion, the mercenaries declare the people of Belgrade traitors, vowing to eliminate everyone. In response, the Knights of Belgrade pledge their unwavering loyalty to Mise. They declare themselves ready to serve at his command. With the command given, the battle for Belgrade erupts. The town's knights and Mise's monstrous allies charge forward, ready for total war to protect their home. The enemy commander watches the unfolding chaos. The battle rages on as archers let loose their arrows and soldiers clash. The enemy commander grins with maniacal confidence. In the midst of the chaos, Mise moves with deadly grace, cutting down multiple enemy combatants. Seeing the dragon as a major threat, the enemy commander orders his mage squad to launch a full-scale attack on it. A volley of magical projectiles flies towards the creature. Mise cries out for Tiny in alarm. The mage's full-scale attack explodes against the dragon. The soldiers are stunned by the outcome. The lead soldier stares in disbelief, realizing their assault had no effect whatsoever. To their astonishment, the dragon emerges completely unscathed. The dragon retaliates, unleashing a powerful stun bolt. The magical attack engulfs the enemy soldiers, paralyzing them in their tracks. Elsewhere in the battle, a soldier is taken by surprise, as one of Mina's cat-like creatures delivers a powerful punch. The enemy commander is left baffled by the appearance of the strange creature. The monster cat proudly declares the town is under their protection after knocking the soldier unconscious. The Cyclopes prove to be formidable defenders, easily crushing enemy soldiers with their immense strength. They even block attacks with their bare hands. A Cyclops casually picks up a soldier. It then effortlessly swats another away like an insect. The display of power strikes terror into the hearts of the remaining invaders. A Cyclops blocks their path, forbidding them from advancing. The mercenaries panic, recognizing the A-rank monster and wondering what is happening in the town. The creature declares itself a loyal servant of Lord Valatra and the shadow demon King Mise. From a rooftop, a skilled enemy archer takes aim. He fires a precise shot. The arrow strikes one of the Cyclopes directly in its eye. The mercenary captain identifies the skilled archer as Mise Windsor, believing his defeat is the key to their victory. However, as he rallies his men, the massive shadow of Mina's cat form looms over them ominously. As they flee, Valatra speaks to Mise, asking if this is the kind of pain that makes one feel like dying. Overwhelmed, the mercenary captain orders a full retreat, realizing they have no hope of winning. Mise watches the retreating army with a hardened expression. With the enemy in full retreat, Mise rallies his allies, ordering them to pursue the fleeing mercenaries and capture their leader. His companions look on, ready to give chase. He roars in agreement. Mise, riding atop the unicorn, charges after the fleeing commander. The commander is stunned to see a holy beast in the town. The commander sprouts wings and attempts a flying escape, laughing maniacally. However, his flight is cut short. Mise appears before him, having already blocked his path. Mise declares that the commander will pay for the crime of attacking Belgrade. He raises his sword, preparing to activate its power. Mise unleashes his paralyzed sword ability, sending a jolt of energy through the commander, leaving him completely immobilized. With their leader defeated, the battle is won. Mise forces erupt in a victory cry. The Cyclops proudly declares that with Mise and Valatra, their army is unbeatable, a sentiment Valatra smugly affirms. A voice from above interrupts the celebration, remarking on their impressive team. The allies look up toward the source of the voice. Mise looks up in surprise. A new figure appears, flanked by a host of fearsome beasts. He mockingly addresses Mise, questioning his claim as the eldest son of Duke Windsor. Mise stares back, recognizing his brother Alfred. Meanwhile, the dragon, secretly controlled by Tiny, stands amidst the destruction. From the sky, Alfred looks down on the chaos below, identifying the massive dragon as a fake Valatra. Alfred smirks confidently, believing that the fake dragon stands no chance against him. He brandishes a unique, glowing spear. Realizing what's happening, Mise shouts in defiance. Alfred lunges forward to attack. From within the dragon, Tiny calls out to Mise. Alfred's spear streaks through the air, aimed directly at one of Mise's allies. The weapon finds its mark, striking a Cyclops. The Cyclops roars in agony. Alfred seems surprised, wondering aloud if he made a mistake with the controls. He comments on his weapon's immense power. Mise reacts with alarm. Alfred stands confidently, ready for his next move. Mise orders his allies to fall back, declaring that Alfred is an opponent for him and Tiny to handle. A knight acknowledges the order, wishing them victory as they retreat. Alfred taunts Mise, asking if he's scared. He boasts that his spear is the strongest weapon in the kingdom, capable of piercing dragon scales. He also reveals a chimera synthesized from multiple magical beasts, claiming Mise and his allies don't stand a chance. Speaking through the dragon, Tiny expresses her amazement at being challenged with such weapons. Alfred is surprised to hear a woman's voice, dismissing it as illusion magic. Mise interrupts, questioning if his brother realizes that innocent people live in the town. Alfred scoffs, callously revealing that the town is merely a hangout for children infected with the Black Death. Mise is stunned into silence by the shocking revelation. Furious, Mise asks if Alfred considers Tiny to be worthless as well. Alfred reveals his long-held grudge, claiming that Tiny brought the Black Death to their family 4 years ago. He screams at Mise, demanding to know what he would do if Alfred himself caught the disease. Mise grapples with the depth of his brother's hatred. Mise recalls how 4 years ago he was desperately trying to save his sister while Alfred harbored such resentment. Tiny clarifies that she has served the kingdom ever since. She holds no resentment towards her brother, Alfred. Back then, Mise didn't fully understand his own alchemy skills and failed many times before mastering them. Tiny continues, explaining that thanks to those events, she became strong enough to protect Mise and is grateful for it. Alfred, impatient with their conversation, urges them to get on with the fight. Mise looks at his brother, his resolve hardening. With a determined gaze, Mise declares that as the older brother, he will pass judgment on Alfred. Enraged, Alfred questions how a failure with useless skills could possibly judge him. He vows to make Mise realize his mistake. In response, Mise calmly instructs Tiny to retrieve the shield from the tiny warehouse, and she complies. As Alfred's spear hurtles forward, an ornate, sun-like shield materializes to intercept the attack. The rank SSS magic shield easily blocks the blow, its surface unharmed. Alfred watches in disbelief as his prized spear shatters into tiny pieces. Undeterred, he redirects his focus to his other weapon, the Chimera. The Chimera's snake-like heads lunge forward. They are effortlessly sliced apart. Tiny mocks the fragile beast. Alfred sputters in shock. He tells the fake not to get carried away. Mise gives a sharp command for his brother to be torn apart. The dragon, under Tiny's control, fiercely attacks the Chimera. It rips into the Chimera's flesh. Tiny coldly tells the beast to go away. She continues her relentless assault. As the Chimera's heads are torn off, they begin to regenerate. Mise notes the regeneration with alarm. Using the regeneration as a distraction, Tiny swoops in. She snatches an item from Alfred. He yells in frustration, demanding she let go. Tiny confirms she has secured it. Alfred screams in pain. He has been disarmed of a rank A potion. He threatens that they won't get away with this, vowing that the royal army will come for them, and that he, the future king, will not be touched. The real Valatra finally reveals himself, standing tall amidst a swarm of dragons. He interprets Alfred's threat as a declaration of war, stating that it's exactly what he was hoping for. Alfred stares in horror. It's not just a swarm of flying dragons. He sees an entire army of monsters, including cyclopes and goblins. He wonders how so many could have gathered. With an army of 300,000 monsters at his command, Valatra declares his intention to completely erase the palace. Before them stands a formidable horde of monsters. Alfred, the younger brother, stares in utter disbelief and terror at the overwhelming sight. Valatra's rage simmers as he recalls the kingdom of Alphasia's numerous sins, exiling his brother, attempting to take his life, aggressive invasions of their territory, and the enslavement of their people. He vows to bring eternal hell and suffering upon them. His monster army roars with approval, chanting his name. Mise tries to interject, calling out to Tiny. Mise questions Valatra's intentions, worried he might scare the people of Belgrade. Valatra reassures him that the citizens are not included in his plans. Meanwhile, Princess Lucy pleads with Mise not to stop her from getting involved. Filled with righteous fury, Lucy declares she is completely furious. Her wrathful appearance causes Alfred to scream in terror. She vows to crush all of Mise's enemies. Alfred continues to shriek in fear. As Valatra prepares to strike, Mise desperately calls for him to wait. Lucy seems determined to act, telling her companion not to stop her. Princess Lucy Alphasia strides forward, formally announcing herself and offering a sincere apology for the numerous indiscretions committed by her country. Mise is surprised, realizing she must have been in Belgrade. Lucy happily calls out to Mise. He reminds her that their engagement was supposed to have been dissolved. She dismisses it as a decision made by her father alone, declaring that her place is with Mise. As Lucy rushes to embrace Mise, Tiny intervenes. Tiny demands she stay away, stating that the engagement has been called off. Lucy insists her father acted without her permission. Alfred, stunned, recognizes Tiny and blurts out that his big sister is alive. With a powerful slap, Tiny sends him flying. She coldly informs him that he has no right to call her sister and that her only family is Mai's. Tiny clings possessively to Mai's, telling Princess Lucy that her brother is already hers. Lucy can only stare in disbelief at the scene. Lucy bows deeply to Mai's in a sincere apology. She blames her own lack of virtue for not stopping her father's actions and promises to retract the broken engagement. She then boldly proposes to make Mai's her husband and the new king. Tiny finds this notion completely unacceptable. Tiny confronts Lucy, questioning her motives. She questions if Lucy really intends to make the greatest brother in the world her husband. Tiny calls her presumptuous and suggests it is for her own benefit. Driven by devotion, Tiny declares that if Mai's desires the throne, she will seize it by force. Mai's gently chides her for speaking so harshly to her childhood friend, Lucy, who insists that she must state her case. Mai's tries to placate Tiny, explaining that he doesn't want conflict and that Lucy hasn't done anything wrong. He then earnestly asks if she could please try to get along with Lucy. Tiny is left flustered by his request. Tiny reluctantly agrees to a compromise, demanding that the king himself come to their land and bow down. She adds the condition that Alfred be exiled from the country. Horrified, Alfred cries out, asking if she is telling him to go die in the dirt. Tiny coldly retorts that exile is better than being torn apart. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Lucy agrees to the terms, promising to have her father come to Belgrade and to apologize to Mai's herself. Lucy confirms that Alfred will be exiled. Tiny accepts this condition. However, she adds a menacing warning, reminding them that she can't guarantee when the monsters under her command might go berserk. With her army of monsters looming behind her, Tiny suggests it would be best if the king came as soon as possible. Mai's and Lucy can only watch with nervous expressions. At Tiny's command, the monsters disperse, and Mai's reflects on how surprisingly easy the resolution was. As Lucy and her guards prepare to take Alfred back to the castle, Mai's stops them. He suggests that since it is late, they should stay at his mansion for the night. Lucy gratefully accepts his offer. As they approach the estate, Tiny instructs Hatsu to ensure Alfred is kept locked in a cell and not allowed inside the mansion. The group arrives at the grand residence. They enter Mai's magnificent mansion. Lucy observes Tiny's behavior and concludes that Mai's will likely never return to the kingdom. She resolves that her only course of action is to find a way to overturn the broken engagement. Her plan is to create a fait accompli between herself and Mai's when Tiny is not around. Lucy blushes as she imagines achieving her goal with Mai's in bed. As they walk towards the mansion, a royal guard urges Princess Lucy to wait, finding it hard to believe the things Lord Alfred said in the dungeon. The guard mentions that the land was afflicted by the Black Death, and Mai's confirms that the problem has now been resolved. The confirmation leaves the guard utterly stunned. Mai's introduces a holy beast named Mina, who will take care of the bacteria-carrying rats. He adds that he also distributed elixirs to heal all the residents, which shocks the guards. Mai's casually offers the legendary-level potions to Lucy and her royal guard, telling them to drink as much as they'd like if they are worried. Inside, Mai's suggests everyone rest after their long journey and asks a maid named Eris to prepare the rooms. He then turns to Lucy and asks if she would wait in his room until hers is ready, an invitation she eagerly accepts. Alone, Mai's asks how Lucy got to Belgrade so quickly, and she explains she rode the fastest horse in Elphasia. She adds that she encountered no monsters on the way, which she had expected. When Mai's announces they have arrived at his room, Lucy becomes flustered. As Mai's opens the door, they are both sent flying by an avalanche of books and research materials. He sheepishly explains that he thought the previous lord was also an alchemist, and he got curious about what seemed to be research in progress. Lucy corrects him, stating it was not the previous lord's work. She fondly recalls that Mai's was always dedicated to his research, even back in the kingdom. Smiling, she tells him that even after moving to Belgrade, he hasn't changed at all. Mai's asks if Lucy could investigate other regions suffering from illness when she returns to the kingdom so he can deliver his elixir. He explains that he is disliked in that country and no one believes his research results. Lucy readily agrees, stating that as his fiancée, it is only natural for her to assist Master Mai's. She timidly asks if he minds her help. Holding up a book, Lucy suggests they talk late into the night in the same bedroom to discuss the Black Death research further. Oblivious to her advances, Mai's enthusiastically agrees, happy for the chance to talk all night like they did in their childhood. Lucy is overjoyed by his acceptance. Later, Mize accidentally trips, falling on top of Lucy on the bed. Startled and flustered, he offers a stammered apology. Lying beneath him, Lucy whispers his name, her face flushed. Overwhelmed by the intimate position, a blushing Mize can only say her name in return. Their moment is suddenly interrupted by Tiny, who emerges from under the covers and comments that what they are doing looks fun. Mize is left bewildered by her sudden appearance. Tiny, having emerged from under the covers, offers to join in on the fun. Mize frantically tries to calm Tiny down. He assures her that nothing strange was happening between him and Princess Lucy. Lucy is too flustered to process the situation. Mize swears he would never touch Lucy. Tiny clarifies that her concern isn't with him. She trusts her brother, but she fears the princess might try something. She threatens to wipe Alphasia off the map, stunning Lucy. Mize realizes Tiny must have witnessed his exile and confirms she saw everything. Lucy asks why she didn't rescue him on the spot. Tiny reveals that she let the exile happen on purpose, as she needed both it and the engagement annulment to occur together. Lucy is shocked by this revelation. She confesses that pretending to be a guardian dragon was a pain. Furthermore, she declares that the kingdom is doomed anyway. Mize is stunned by her cold calculation. Lucy realizes that Tiny is the final obstacle to her marrying Mize. She decides she must build a better relationship with her, like real sisters. She cheerfully suggests that Tiny can start calling her big sister-in-law from now on. The proposition leaves Tiny completely bewildered. Lucy devises a grand plan. She will broadcast Mize's achievements across the realm. She will ensure he is crowned the next king, and once that happens, their marriage will be destiny. She believes that not even Tiny will be able to object to it. The next morning, a commotion outside the mansion draws Tiny's attention. Eris goes to investigate the noise. She returns with a startling report. Someone has brought a group of people back with them. Mize is shocked to discover that the entire town is nearly out of food. A local explains that due to destroyed storehouses and frozen trade, their supplies will only last a few more days. Mize quickly forms a plan, instructing the knights to buy supplies from neighboring towns using his unicorn. Lucy happily agrees to postpone their trip. She is privately pleased to be staying longer with Mize. When a local expresses concern about the immediate shortage, Mize steps in. He confidently declares he will cover the gap with his alchemy. When asked if he's creating food, Mize clarifies that he intends to make fertilizer instead. He instructs the knights to focus their purchasing efforts on meat. With the plan set, he prepares to begin his alchemical work. He begins the alchemical process, causing vines to sprout and wrap around his equipment. With determined focus, he gets to work. Mize asks Eris for an empty field, but she is skeptical, doubting seeds could grow in time. Tiny urges her to trust in Mize's alchemy. Lucy seems to agree that it's worth a shot. Convinced, Eris agrees to lead them to a suitable location. After the seeds are scattered across the field, Mize prepares his next step. He unleashes his creation, a rank SSS super rapid growth fertilizer. He applies the powerful fertilizer to the soil. Mize nervously wonders if his combination of two different alchemy formulas will actually work. Suddenly, the ground begins to twitch. Before their astonished eyes, plants burst from the soil. They grow at an incredible speed. The experiment is a complete success, producing a giant, glistening level-up tomato. Mize triumphantly presents the fruit to his amazed friends, overjoyed that his alchemy worked. Mize proudly presents the rank SSS leveled-up tomato. The townspeople are astounded, marveling at how quickly the plants have borne so much fruit. To confirm its quality, Mize decides it's time for a taste test. Before Mize can take a bite, Eris insists that she must test it for poison first. She explains that there is always a small chance of danger. Surprised, Mize agrees to let her. She nervously takes a bite of the tomato. Mize calls out her name, watching with concern. To everyone's relief, Eris's face lights up as she exclaims how delicious the tomato is. Hearing this, Lucy asks to try it as well. Tiny also chimes in, exclaiming how good it is. When the townspeople ask if they can have some, Mize happily encourages them to share with everyone. Lucy declares that Mize has solved the food crisis. However, Mize explains this is only a temporary solution for a few days. He elaborates that while the SSS rank fertilizer makes them grow fast, continuous harvesting could lead to soil fatigue. He concludes that they must restore distribution lines quickly, and can't just keep feeding everyone tomatoes. Eris continues to enjoy the tomato, making Mize glad he could make everyone happy. Suddenly, Eris seems to notice something strange. Suddenly, a powerful aura envelops Eris. The other townspeople also begin to glow. Eris is stunned as a voice in her head announces she has leveled up from 1 to 8, gained stats and learned a new skill. Mize explains this is a special effect of the tomato, complete with a voice guide. Eris wonders if the voice guide is really necessary. Tinny notes she didn't level up, and Mize explains that since her level is already high, a single tomato wouldn't have much effect. The townspeople are overjoyed as their levels and stats skyrocket, some reaching level 13 after only a few bites. Mize realizes with alarm that the villagers could soon surpass the knights in strength. Tinny soberly adds that such a development could completely collapse the world's military balance. Tinny and Lucy agree that the tomatoes must be strictly controlled. Mize explains they are a single-generation crop, but the risk remains. Tinny warns that if word of Mize's power gets out, people will try to exploit him, causing Lucy to realize her own plan was similar. Tinny continues, saying that if anyone does come for him. Tinny's expression darkens as she fiercely vows to protect her brother from any shameless fools. Touched but determined, Mize tells her he wants to be the one protecting her, not the other way around. His words leave Tinny completely flustered. Overcome with joy, Tinny leaps into Mize's arms, exclaiming her happiness. She declares that Belgrade is their love nest, as Lucy acknowledges Tinny as a formidable opponent. Their moment is interrupted by the sound of an alarm bell. A citizen rushes over to report that a pack of Beastkin is outside the city. Tinny confirms they are not her monsters, and Mize realizes the attack is happening while the knights are away. He notes that the timing is far too perfect. A pack of formidable Beastkin approaches the city, noting the timing is perfect. They are met by 2 Cyclops gatekeepers. The Beastkin leader is surprised to find a Cyclops guarding the gate. He gives the order for his warriors to attack. The bewildered Cyclops wonders who these attackers are. A Beastkin warrior effortlessly overpowers the Cyclops. The Cyclops is tossed aside, considered a letdown despite its reputation. Another Beastkin scoffs, calling it just a Cyclops. Laughing, the Beastkin storm past the gate. They easily scatter the remaining guards. Their leader scoffs that the town is filled with weak-looking humans. He adds that the so-called Shadow Demon Lord doesn't seem like much of a threat either. Suddenly, a projectile strikes one of the Beastkin. It flies with incredible speed. The leader is startled by the attack. He whirls around, demanding to know who is there. Eris stands there calmly, having just flicked the projectile. She herself seems amazed by her own newfound power. She excitedly asks Mize if he saw what she did. The Beastkin leader is shocked that the attacker is just a human maid. He wonders what kind of power she possesses. Inspired by Eris, the newly empowered townspeople decide to join the fight, confident they can handle it without Lord Mize. Eris fires another powerful blast from her hand. They leap into battle, effortlessly overpowering the invaders. The defeated Beastkin are left in utter shock, wondering how everyone in town is so ridiculously strong. Even the old man proved to be a formidable opponent. Lucy and Tinny praise Mize, marveling at the amazing power of the level-up tomato. Now then, Valatra steps forward. She confronts the invaders' leader. Valatra coldly demands to know their reason for attacking the town. The defeated leader admits their goal was to see if the rumors about Valatra were true. Valatra confirms her identity and asks if they are satisfied, leaving the leader stunned. With a powerful blast, Valatra sends the Beastkin leader flying. The force of the attack startles Mize, Lucy, and Eris. As the dust settles, a new figure emerges. The figure acknowledges Valatra by name. A fox-like Beastkin appears, praising Valatra's fighting spirit and stating she came to challenge her. She introduces herself as Luna, queen of the Fenrir tribe. Luna formally challenges Valatra to a duel. With a confident grin, she declares her condition for victory. If she wins, Valatra will become subordinate to the Fenrir tribe. Luna eagerly asks for an answer. Valatra gives her an intense stare. Mize tries to intervene, dismissing Luna as just a kid, but Valatra warns him to stay back. She recognizes that this girl is no ordinary Beastkin. Power crackles around Luna as she begins to transform. Her body is enveloped in a blinding light. Mize watches in shock, realizing her transformation is just like Tinny's. Luna completes her transformation, revealing her true form as a divine beast Fenrir. The group can only stare in awe, realizing they are facing a creature of myth.